Hello, welcome back to Mrs. Hewitt's Spelling at Home for a new Key Stage 2 session that we're doing today. Now before we start, I just want to remind you that if you're watching through the YouTube channel, you can obviously subscribe, and if you do, you'll make sure that you know which the latest video is, because I'm aware that sometimes I think on YouTube they jumble them up, and you're not quite sure which is the most up-to-date video, or you're having to scroll through to find ones that you haven't watched before. Or you can click on the playlist section where I have put them in date order, so you should be able to catch the latest one if you do that. If you're watching through the website, then they're in order anyway, so you're fine with that. Okay, today's session is all about a root word. It's quite an easy one actually, and all the words are very, very similar. It's just the prefix that basically changes the meaning. So our first word is, our root word today is this, ward, okay? And this comes from the Old English word, which basically means turn towards. And that's originally from the Proto-Indo-European root, moving, meaning like to turn or to bend. So it's all to do with directions, this one, ward. So I'm going to show you the morpheme frame. And again, like I said, this is all about prefixes. Normally we've got loads and loads of suffixes that you can attach to them. We've only got 2 suffixes today, lots of different prefixes. So have a go at your word sums and then we'll look at some of the meanings afterwards. But like I said, pretty simple to explain these today. They're quite self-explanatory. So I'm going to pop this grid up to the screen and you can pause the video. Okay, let's have a look together at some of the word sums that you could have made. Just want to say, obviously we have got the S and the LY, and they can only be added to some of the words, but some of these you will be using quite regularly in your writing, especially towards and maybe afterwards, because that word after is one of your time connectives that you might be using in a story. So that's one that you probably do use quite a lot. So it's good to remember that it's wards and not woods, because we say woods, when we say afterwards, it does sound a little bit like woods. Okay, so you could have had backwards. So remember that ward bit is to do with going in the direction. So if we're going backwards, we're going in the back direction. So that's quite self-explanatory, isn't it? Afterwards, so that's basically after something has happened. We've got upwardly, so you could say, oh, they're going in an upwardly direction, they're going upwards. Obviously they're going up, that's quite obvious. Right, this is one of the most interesting ones, I think, because we've got this word awkward. Now, that's one that isn't so much to do with, you might not think so much to do with direction, because it's more to do with explaining how somebody, maybe somebody is, or something looks a bit awkward. Awk originally meant sort of going in a back direction, or something a bit wrong. So it's really from that. So awkward would be going in like the wrong direction, which has over time changed that meaning of like looking not quite right. So awkward, that's a bit of etymology there for you, where that came from in history. But we have awk with that or, and then it's the K, and then would. So that's probably the trickiest one you're going to come across in this section. Towards, so to, meaning to, towards, you're going in the direction to that person or to that thing. Untoward. Now, untoward is actually an adjective of describing, oh, that was a bit untoward. And it's similar to sort of awkward, because untoward, it means not going to. So it almost means like not quite right, or like you weren't quite expecting that to happen, because it means not going in the direction that you thought it was going, basically. We've got forwards, so obviously that's going in a forward direction, because you're going for something, like front. And then straight forward, which lots of people do write as 2 words. It can be written as 1 word, straightforward, as 1 word, and that means very direct, very clear. It is straightforward, it is straight in that direction. So like I said, I think today that one is a pretty simple one for you to get to grips with using that grid, but also just to think about actually all those words that we do use that have ward in all relate to direction. So if you come across any of those words, you can remember how to spell it and the meaning as well. Okay, your final job is to write a couple of sentences, because it is important that you do use these words in the right thing. It's not just about building the words, it's about knowing what they mean as well and being able to use them in the right context. So your final job is to pick 1 or 2 of those words and write them in a sentence. Okay, and then you're done. And I will see you back here tomorrow. Okay, thanks, bye.